So last night we learned one of Minnesota's most notorious convicted murderers died in prison. Donald Blum was serving a life sentence after being convicted of kidnapping and killing Katie Poyer in 1999. Blum was 73 years old. That case rocked the small community of Moose Lake and the entire state of Minnesota, and since then changed lives and laws here. And so tonight we take a look back on the case with someone who knew it well and knows it well. Former WCCO reporter Caroline Lowe, who covered it extensively. She spoke to Morgan Wolf.
Back into the KARE 11 archives, we went to relive this story, but we figured it was best told by someone who witnessed it firsthand.
It really affected all of us, and it does to this day. I had so many messages yesterday from Minnesota.
Caroline Lowe can now be found in California.
It was just one of the most powerful stories that I ever covered.
Hearing about the death of murderer Donald Blum, it brought her right back to Minnesota.
They need to bring her home.
The surveillance tape shows 19-year-old Katie Poyer being taken from the store by a lone man.
We're still not giving up the search.
It was very competitive. You'd watch what the other people did on the other stations, the newspapers. It was competitive to a fault.
You started covering this case back in 1999. What stands out the most?
The image of that video, as blurry as it was, stays with you.
Registered sex offender Donald Blum's co-workers were the ones that recognized him here and tipped off police.
We have witnesses that put him in this area.
It was all-consuming. I was not a very good mother. I had some young children at the time. I am a better grandparent many days than I was as a parent because of the toll it takes when you're that committed to do the story.
From his arrest to his trial, Caroline was on the front lines.
What do you remember most about Katie's family?
They powered through their pain.
If he was waiting for me to break down or to carry on, he didn't get it.
They worked with Patty Wetterling, with other victims' families to get laws changed. I often thought, I don't know that I could have ever crawled out from under the covers of my bed if I lost my child like Jacob, or if my daughter had been murdered like Katie.
Katie's law was signed in April 2000. It tightened the state's sex offender laws, creating stricter penalties. It also increased accounting of offenders. $12 million went to new technology for tracking criminals. Caroline followed every step, absorbing pain along the way.
It takes over, and I think now, years later, I would say I think you have to monitor that.
Did you ever have those moments where you broke down in the car with your photographer?
Oh, I tried not to break down when I was with the victims. You know, you get through it and you lose it.
Blum didn't go away quietly.
Blum continued to stay in touch.
She visited him in prison in 2016.
I kept thinking for years that maybe he would finally tell me that he did it or give me details.
So you never got that true confession that you wanted?
No.
Her curiosity can't help but wonder if Blum was involved in more crimes.
I think he will have gone to his grave with questions, at least from my end, that are still unresolved. It was such a big part of my life. I think the images of Katie in the convenience store, impossible to shake that.
Morgan Wolf, breaking the news.
Caroline Lowe talking to Morgan tonight about how that case stayed with her all these years. We want to extend our prayers to Katie's family tonight and friends of that family who, when news like this happens, go through it all over again.